Hello there, and thank you so much for clicking on my review of the 2022 Honda Civic hatchback in the top-of-line sport touring trim. Honda sells a Civic in both the sedan and hatchback versions. While both are mechanically identical, the hatchback provides more cargo room behind the seats, whereas the sedan is 4.9 inches longer than the hatchback. Both body styles are very popular, although there are some differences between the two. For example, the sedan is only available in the CVT automatic transmission. If you want the 6-speed manual transmission, you're going to have to opt for the hatchback. Unfortunately, these days it seems as if the manual transmission is going in the way of the dodo bird. I do appreciate Honda continuing to sell their Civics with manual transmissions, despite the fact that most people who use TikTok or Instagram would probably confuse the clutch with the brake. The Honda Civic is the 6th best-selling car of all time in the United States. It has been the best-selling passenger car for the past 6 years. In Canada, the Honda Civic has been the best-selling passenger car for the past 24 consecutive years. Honda Civic sedans are built in Alliston, Ontario, Canada, north of Toronto, whereas the hatchbacks are built in the US state of Indiana. The Honda Civic is currently in its 11th generation and it has been completely redesigned for the 2022 model year. If you're curious about what has changed since the previous generation, I will go over that in the review. When it comes to the engines, the 2022 Honda Civic is powered by either the base 2-liter 4-cylinder engine that puts out 158 horsepower, or the optional 1.5-liter turbocharged engine that puts out 180 horsepower. My review model was the top-of-the-line sport touring trim, which meant I had the 1.5-liter turbocharged engine. But before I continue with the review though, I just want to give a big shout out to our friends at Tripod Photo and Video Marketing on Vancouver Island. We're happy to be one of their clients and always gives a hand in putting these videos together. If you're in the Nanaimo area looking for professional photo, video, and drone services, they can help. Link to the website will be a pinned comment below. So let's get back to the review. The Honda Civic has been completely redesigned for the 2022 model year, and Honda always takes it up a notch with each iteration of the Civic. The 11th generation is no exception. For when the exterior has been redesigned, Honda claims that they've improved the suspension, chassis, and body rigidity for this generation of the Civic. This is the first year the Honda Civic's hoods are made of aluminum to cut weight. The hood has been elongated and lowered by an inch as well as to improve both aesthetics and handling. Honda claims to have pulled back the A-pillars by just under 2 inches to improve both sight lines and reduce visual clutter for the driver. Another tiny update is that the outside mirrors are mounted on the door rather than A-pillars like they were in the last generation of the Civic. When it comes to exterior dimensions, the 2022 Civic has both a half-inch longer wheelbase and track width. However, the actual width of the Civic has not changed between generations. LED lighting is used extensively for headlight, daytime, and parking running lights. As for the wheels, the Civic can be fitted with either 16 or 18-inch tires. Last, a nice touch is the use of a capless gas filler, which makes refueling that much easier at the pump. So let's jump back inside and take a look at the interior. Right away, it's much different than the last generation of the Civic. The biggest difference right away is the dash. Honda engineered honeycomb vents go right across the dash, and I like this bold design stance. Overall, the interior is pretty solid for a compact car, and the interior panels and buttons have the quality you expect from Honda. One thing I love though is the focus Honda made on keeping buttons simple and streamlined. Honda really focused on user friendliness, so when I looked at the buttons I knew exactly what they were for. For example, there are only a handful of buttons and knobs which made in-vehicle tasks simple to do. If I wanted to change the automatic climate control system, there are 3 knobs instead of just a mess of buttons that can even confuse a car reviewer. Definitely a big thumbs up for me, another reason why the Civic has sold so well for so long. The leather-wrapped steering wheel is also excellent, and it is heated with the on-off button at the bottom of the wheel. I do like the buttons and how tactile they feel with solid clicks. 2022 is the first year that Honda has introduced a fully digital LCD display for the instrument gauge cluster that is controlled via the steering wheel buttons. The infotainment system is a 9-inch fully HD touchscreen that uses Honda's infotainment system, and you can expect to access your media, phone, and vehicle settings. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are fully supported. On the Sport Touring trim and higher-end trims on the sedan, sound is provided by a premium Bose sound system. I've never had an issue with Honda's infotainment system. They've done everything I've expected. On the Sport Touring trim, the Civic has proximity sensors that will let you know if you get too close to anything. A visual and audible warning will pop up on screen. Last but certainly not least is the seats. The Civic seats are available in leather, and they are heated and cooled, and they're heated still even for the passengers in the rear. They are very comfortable and provide lots of support when driving. And if you're watching this video, I imagine you're curious about how the Civic hatchback stacks up with trunk space. Well, one of the advantages of the Civic hatchback is the fact that the higher rear door provides about 30% more room than the sedan. A lot of people like hatchbacks because when you pull down the seats, there's a lot of room in the rear for a compact car. In fact, some people have even slept in their Civic hatchbacks when push comes to shove. Honda claims that the Civic hatchback has around 650 liters of room behind the rear seats, and I have no reason not to believe that. Now, one thing you need to note is the rear area isn't fully flat. The trunk area is a little lower than seats, and there is a tiny ramp. Overall though, the Civic has lots of room once the seats are down, and even includes a rolling cargo cover. To drop the rear seats, all you need to do is press a button and they'll pop forward. Last but not least is the spare tire and roadside supplies, which are found under the trunk floor. So now that we've gotten the interior and exterior out of the way, let's talk about how the new Civic handles. And all I've got to say to start off is just wow. To begin, the Civic may be Honda's most affordable vehicle since the lower end Honda Fit was discontinued in 2020, but that doesn't mean you're going to get the short end of the stick as a consumer. To state straight up, the Honda Civic delivers far more than driving department than what the sticker price would immediately suggest. Normally it's always a trade-off between price and quality, but the Honda Civic breaks this relationship completely. It's no surprise why the Honda Civic has been popular for so long. The last Civic I drove was from 2012, and all I can say is the Civic of today is miles ahead of the Civic from yesteryear. Honda claims that their engineers tuned the Civic to perform tightly on European roads, and I can say, yep, it's the real deal. The suspension of the 2022 is multi-link rear independent, and the front suspension has been improved as well. The 2022 Civic is so much fun around the corners. The handling is tight and responsive with a surprising amount of road feel for a compact car. When you enter a corner, the Civic just follows the curves instinctively, and the whole drive experience is notably fun. The suspension is very sporty, so your tires always feel connected to the road, and there's not a lot of body roll around tight bends. It's not every day that you can say that a compact car impresses you with daily driving. Kudos to Honda's engineers for delivering a remarkably good handling compact car. Now when it comes to the engine, the 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder is excellent. It's so good that I didn't even know it was turbocharged, and what I mean by that is that there is no turbo lag with the engine. When you press on the gas, it feels like the power delivery snaps on instantly. The Civic isn't going to blow you away power-wise. It takes around 7.5 seconds to do 0 to 60. That said, who are you racing in a Civic anyway? If you're on the highway, it's got more than enough to pass. If you want to pull away from a stop sign, you're not going to say, wow, this thing's underpowered. The transmission is either the 6-speed manual or the CVT. If you're looking for a manual, all I can say is that the Civic Hatch's 6-speed manual is absolutely excellent for a stock vehicle. Shifting the gears feels satisfying with solid, tactile shifts. Yes, it's not going to be as good performance-wise as supercar's manual transmission, no doubt, but shifts are solid and you don't get that rubbery shift feel that some other manufacturers have. The clutch is also forgiving. Overall, I just give the Civic's transmission 2 big thumbs up. Connecting to fuel economy, the Civic is very fuel efficient and you should be getting a minimum of 33 miles per gallon combined. Honda has an Econ mode which improves fuel economy as well by essentially killing the engine's power in return for fuel savings. Honda will never admit it publicly, but the Econ mode just zaps the engine's performance. When it comes to safety features, Civic will have adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, pre-collision assist, and lane keep assist as part of its Honda Safety Sensing Suite. It also is an IIHS top safety pick. A cool fun fact is the Honda safety system actually uses a camera in the windshield rather than a radar system, like most other vehicles. The visual data is ran through a computer and an algorithm calculates when to stop the vehicle to prevent a collision. Definitely cool stuff. So now that we're at the end of the review, I can confidently say the Honda Civic is a killer compact car. If you're in the market, you have to take a look at the 2022 Civic in either sedan or hatchback. You're getting a vehicle with an updated cool exterior, an excellent and user-friendly interior, as well as a vehicle that manages to be both fuel efficient and fun to drive. I gave the new 2022 Honda Civic 2 big thumbs up and I 100% recommend this vehicle. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you like this video, please feel free to leave a like or a sub. Tune in next time for another review coming soon. Thank you again so much for watching.